In today's session of Visual JForex, I will be explaining to you the use and implementation of the indicator named Donchian channel on the Visual JForex platform. This indicator is part of the other classified indicator. These are all the indicators we have seen so far. Now, in today's session, it's the turn of Donchian channel. So let us go to the Visual JForex board developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. Here I have included you for your information how to calculate these channels, the upper band, the middle band and the lower band. And this is how the channel is defined with the help of these three price bands. Now let us include the Donchian channel. It is listed under the other indicator. Here it is. Now of these three start points, we can utilize any of the start point to initialize the trade setup, to initialize the block. Coming to the Donchian channel, it is fairly simple to calculate and it is also fairly simple to customize. All we have to do is customize these four parameters based on which we will be getting the output values, the high value and the low value, and of course we have to be mindful of the settings also, these bid side, offer side difference and applied price. We have to be mindful of those two things. And then while determining what are the appropriate parameters, we have to see how this indicator is built. We take the highest value over a period of time. Suppose for example n is the number of period of time, then we will be taking the highest high for that number of periods, and we will be taking the lowest low for the n number of periods where we have these defined parameters. And based on that the channel is formed. I will explain to you on the chart of Euro USD. This is the hourly chart for the Euro USD, and I have already plotted the Donchian channel with the default value of the 20. So this channel has been formed by taking into consideration the last 20 candlesticks of 1 hour each for the Euro USD. And basically we use this channel to see on which side the trend is strong, whether it is on the buy side or whether it is on the sell side. And if the formation is that the lower low, that is this lower circuit, lower channel, or you can even call it lower band of this Donchian channel is going further lower, it is declining, then that is indicative of the fact that bearish forces are taking hold. And at the same time the upper band, the upper channel of this Donchian channel is also going down, it is also receding, and that means the price action is tilted to the bearish side. And this gives you an idea that maybe closer to the middle band of this channel it will be appropriate to look for the fresh short selling opportunities. So that's how this indicator is generally used. We see whether the bands are on the rise or whether the bands are all on the decline, and depending on the price action and the formation we go for the bullish or the bearish trade. If the highest high is on the rise and lowest low is also on the rise, then in such scenarios we generally look for the buy trade, as the underlying momentum is favorable to the buy setup. And then we can utilize this middle band to see if this is the time to get involved. On the Visual JForex platform we don't really get the middle band value, we only have the highest value and the lowest value, but it's not much difficult to calculate the middle band value, as we have this formula given here for the middle channel, the upper channel minus the lowest channel, which needs to be divided by 2, and we get the median value. And for that, all we have to do is take the calculation expression. So here under the components part, we have the mathematical components which can be utilized to design and develop the algorithmic setup. It's taking a bit of time till the calculation block is available to us. We will see these input parameters. Input parameters, first thing is that we need to define and design the, okay, we have got this calculation expression block. Now coming to the default parameter, default instrument, we have to see on which currency instrument or on the CFD instrument we want to trade, and then accordingly we have to take into consideration its characteristics, and then choose the instrument and then customize the setup accordingly. For today's session we keep the Euro USD as it is, but if you want to change, you can always change it from going down to this drag down list and choosing the instrument of your choice. The time period for calculation for each candle can be anything starting from 10 seconds to 1 month. So it's always asked to see what is the appropriate time frame. For example, we will get 30 as our time period for each candlestick. And coming to the shift is the look back period. If you want to go back in time and retrieve the output value for any particular period of time, then we have to write the number of candles we need to shift, and that's why this parameter is called shift. And for example, if we say 3, then the value 3 candlesticks back will be 3 candlestick periods back will be taken into consideration to figure out the output values. Now time period for calculation of this channel, the time period is very critical, and if the time period is spread over the longer time horizon, then we will have the smoother and less fluctuations in the underlying trend. If the time period is defined for the lower time frame, then we will have pretty topsy-turvy signals also, and the moves will be fairly sharp. Sometimes it will be in the upward trajectory, sometimes the things will be in the downward trajectory. I will try to demonstrate to you how the change in default time period goes on to impact this formation on the channel. Now this is for the 20 time period for Euro USD. If we change it, say for example 30, then you will see the formation has changed to a great extent. Now it is looking something like this, and here we are looking at this downward spiral in the Euro USD happening on the hourly time horizon. And if we go back in time, here also you will see lot less fluctuations, and this channel seems to have provided excellent idea whether the trend is on the bullish side or whether the trend is on the bearish side. Now if we want to customize this indicator further, all we have to do is take the appropriate value as per our requirement. If we want to make it 50, the choice is all ours, and the 50 candlestick period will look something like this, the channel formation. And whenever there is a sharp movement in the underlying instrument, we see the widening of this Donchian channel. If the price is range bound, then in such circumstances, in such scenarios, we see the narrowing of these channels. Now for last almost a week we have this Euro USD in the downward spiral. Before that we were looking at the Euro USD continuing to move in the upward trajectory. So depending on this customization, we will have the different plotting for different setups. And now let us restore it to 20. And I will explain to you how you can use this block. Now suppose if we need to calculate the middle band, all you have to do is take for example the high value and the low value and do this customization here. A1 plus, wait, A1 plus A, oh sorry, not plus, A minus A2. This is as per MS Office nomenclature. And then we divide it by 2. Okay, so this is how we get the middle channel value. Middle channel MC. So now you have this upper channel, lower channel and the middle channel value, and you can see how the price action is evolving. And since this indicator is simply based on the price action, you don't have the lag which is observed in the case of moving averages, and that's why sometimes this channel is preferred over the formation in of the moving averages. And when it comes to these settings, we have to see that this applied price goes on to make a large difference, and because of that we have to see and determine what is the appropriate setup for us. If I here give you the demonstration of how these changes, I think we don't really have the option to customize this. So we don't have the option on the JForex platform to customize the applied price, but the Visual JForex is giving us that option. If you want to work with the highest or the lowest value, that's fine. If you want to work with the closing basis, the highest closing value or the lowest closing value, and then take that as the channel value, the upper band or the lower band channel value, you can do that so also. And all it needs is this data, whether it is in the upward trajectory or whether it is in the downward trajectory. And then if you want to go for the buy trade and you have the price action moving in the upward trajectory with the continuous formation of higher highs and higher lows, in such scenarios it will be better to use this Donchian channel, and we get the additional confirmation to take the buy trade confidently. And similarly, if we see that the lower band, that is the lower channel and the upper channel and also the middle channel, is on the decline, then I think we should be better served by staying on the short sale side and trying to sell closer to the immediate resistance zone. So that's it from my side of today's Visual JForex session. If any of you have any query or any idea to share, you can write it in the comment section, and I would be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. See you on Monday. Goodbye.